Oh, thank God, I thought I lost my job.
Welcome back to Where Have You Been Games. My name is Tony from Tony Games. Sorry I've been a little MIA lately, but hey, we made it to 1,000 views while I was gone. That didn't even take that long. So instead of doing this video on the couch, you get this lovely background. Because it's dark by the couch right now and I didn't want to film there. So to commemorate 1,000 views, I'm going to do a little survey I found online. Question number 1. What was the first game you ever played? Well, I don't really remember because I was 2 years old. But from what I was told, the first game I ever played was Mario.
And when I'm talking about Mario, I'm talking about the original NES version. This was actually my dad's copy, and he let me play it on his NES, because apparently he used to play video games all the time. So, I guess one day when I was 2 years old, I ran in and I'm like, I want to play too, in my little kid broken English, and started playing, and apparently I loved it and never looked back.
Question number 2. What is your least favorite game? If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Quest 64.
Ugh, Quest 64. So, me and my grandpa used to play video games all the time, and we were really big into Zelda at the time. And so we saw this Quest game, and we're like, oh, it's probably gonna be like Zelda, right? Well, anyone who's played Quest 64 knows that it is nothing like Zelda. It's not, you don't run around and attack people, it's a turn-based game. And back then, I wasn't used to turn-based games. So I'm like, what's this noise? I don't want to play this. Now, later on in my story, you're gonna find out I do actually like turn-based games. But the turn-based game still has to be a good game. And Quest 64 just is not a good game. Even when you get into the whole mechanics of, okay, you have to move in order to get closer to them, and then you can use your different attacks, but it's still turn-based, so you can't really just go out and attack them. Even when you get used to that different system of fighting, beating them isn't satisfying. It's like, okay, I guess I hit him that time, even though last time the boulder went over his head. I hit him this time, congratulations, he's dead. Alright, now let's run around and kill some other random thing for no apparent reason. Quest 64 I've gone back to it a few times trying to give it a chance, like, oh well, maybe I'll like it this time. And it just never happens. Quest 64 sucks.
Question number 3. What is your favorite game? Well, that's just an impossible question to answer. So we're gonna kind of combine that one with the next question. What game have you spent the most time playing? So this is kind of a cheat answer, but I'd have to say the Pokemon series. And if we're gonna go really specific, Pokemon Blue version.
I beat Pokemon Blue version so many times. I would go through, I'd beat the Elite Four, I'd beat Gary, and then I'd restart the game and do it again. And I continued this about 3 or 4 times until I'm like, okay, it's time for me to catch them all. And I went through and I caught all of them. All 151 original Pokemons. That's right, I actually got a Mew, and I didn't even cheat to get it. Didn't use a Game Shark or anything. I got it from a tournament. Which leads into the next question. What are your favorite gaming memories? Okay, so I was big into Pokemon, as you know, and back in the day, I don't know if they still do it, but they would put on Pokemon tournaments. So you'd actually go to like a mall, and they had this big setup and a bunch of people battling, and you would enter the tournament. You know, you'd face off against different people. You can win little badges and stuff. And when I first got there, the first thing they'd have you do is you'd register, whatever. But when you got there, you'd take your little cartridge, and they'd have you put it in this little contraption. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm a kid, I'll do it. So I put my little card in the contraption, and it went boop, 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 up, you have a Mew now. I'm like, what? I already had 150 Pokemons, now I have 151? I'm awesome! I'm officially a Pokemon master. Now I'm gonna go into this tournament, life is wonderful. So, I trained my Pokemons as best as I possibly could. They were all level 100. I gave them all the proteins and all that stuff to boost their stats until they just were like, I can't take it anymore, we can't be any more powerful. I trained them to the point where my Mewtwo could beat an entire team by himself. In fact, I'm just gonna let him go ahead and beat everybody up. Now, quick side note, the reason I'm doing this on Pokemon Stadium is because if I were to put it on Pokemon Blue version and have that playing right now, that'd be super boring to watch. And it just wouldn't look nice either. So whatever, we're gonna have it on Pokemon Stadium. Back to the tournament story. So I'm at the tournament, I'm whooping on all the kids. This poor kid, you know, he put out his Mewtwo first, I destroyed it, and he's like, oh gosh, do you have a Mewtwo too? And I'm like, of course I do. And then I dominated him. So I won a badge from that. But the big story is I actually won the ability to go against one of their trainers. So it's one of the guys that's actually putting on this tournament. He actually like works for Pokemon, and I got the ability to go up against him. And instead of doing our little, you know, Game Boy to Game Boy fight, we put it in the stadium. So we go up into these big TVs, there's a big crowd around us, I put in my cartridge and register my Pokemons, he puts in his, and we start battling it out. And I have to say, I'm pretty sure he cheated. Because my Mewtwo, like I said, is capable of beating an entire team by himself. I gave him everything I possibly could to make him stronger. And this guy's Mewtwo made mine look like a wuss. His stats were so ridiculously high that there's no possible way he did it without cheating. I'm pretty sure that this guy just cheated to beat a little kid. How messed up is that? But it was still really exciting and a great day, and I got a Mew out of it, so you know, I was still happy. Now, on to the next story.
It restored its HP. What'll it do? A light hit. A hot battle is unfolding. Now one more. Win! That settles this battle. And there goes the battle.
Well, we couldn't just get Mewtwo's glorious triumph. Okay, so, for the next story. If ever I was having a bad day at school, or just a bad day in general, I would always play Mortal Kombat. If ever I was having a bad day, I'd go into my room, put in Mortal Kombat, beat the entire game, and then all was right with the world. Yeah, that story was quite a bit shorter, but you know, not all of them need to be super long. And anyway, I have one last story to tell about a game you may have never heard of. Legend for the Super Nintendo. Oh man, this one gives me more nostalgia than any of the other ones for some reason. I used to play this game all the time with my best friend Sammy back in elementary school. We would always go over to my house. I was always first player because it was my game. He was always second player. I'd be the guy with the sword. He'd have an axe. And we would just run through this game. Now this is the type of game where you can't save either. You either beat that level or you don't. So if you die at the very end of the level, you gotta start that level over again. Now you can go further in the game. Once you beat that level, you can play the next level. But this isn't the type of game where you could come back to. If you want to beat the game, you have to beat that game in one sitting. So we would always go over to my house, we'd play this game, and I don't think we ever finished the game, but this was definitely like a huge part of my childhood. To the fact where I'm probably gonna have to do a Let's Play on this game, just because I'm so excited just demoing it right now.
So now, as the title promised, my eye itches. What was I saying? The big update. So originally I was posting one video on Monday, one video on Wednesday, almost said Tuesday, and one video on Friday. Then I decided to ramp it up a bit and was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, plus a weekend special. So I went from 3 videos a week to 5, and then I just fell off the face of the earth. Well, since my subscribers are so awesome, and they've been leaving just the nicest comments, I mean, come on, when do you ever see nice comments on YouTube? Just for you guys, I've decided to ramp it up even more. I will now be doing 2 videos a day, 6 days a week, plus a weekend special. So there's a lot to look forward to, guys. So I just want to thank you again for watching. Thank you for getting me to 1,000 views. Let's get to 2,000 even faster. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.